So what would it take for you to know that you have within you a very powerful force that could make a difference in your life? What would it take for you to unleash that power within you? Because it is in you, but it might be lying dormant, and all this year you haven't been using it. For me, it took 50 years of my life to discover the powerful essence that I am. And believe you me, I want you to now know what my experience was before I came to this realization. Hello, my name is Dr. Sheila Harris. I'm here to tell you what happened to me and the journey that I have to travel in order to come to this point in my life. In 2011, I had an experience which left me traumatized. I was filled with so many events in my life. I was so angry, resentful, fearful, feeling of insecurity that I've never felt I had overwhelmed me to the point where I forgot what my vision was. I have been one up to that point that was so dynamic, and people knew me for dynamism. I will speak at events, I will write books, I will give lectures, but this time I was overwhelmed. All the events that I've been doing, that I've been teaching other people to manage their mind and to be effective in the way they control their mind, just left me, and I didn't know what happened to me. For some reason, I needed something to push me back to my calling. And I could hear this little voice within me saying, Sheila, you can do it, push on. But I didn't know what the formula was. I didn't know how to come out of myself anymore. I just keep sinking down, going to the point where, to me, it was like the story of the prodigal son. I left all of what I believed. My vision has been lost. And now I was in darkness, total darkness. Don't know what to do. But then one day, something happened. In 2013, having gone through this period of darkness, I suddenly was faced with ailments in my body. This was the last thing I needed. I've not seen my doctor for years. I don't even know what sickness means as far as my life is concerned. But now I was faced with lots of problems in my body. For a start, I was bleeding 28 days in a month. Can you believe that? Sometimes 21 days if it's better. And I was now weak. I went to the doctors and I asked the doctors what was going on with me. Why was I bleeding? Why was this bleeding not leaving my body? I was sent to so many surgery asking for tests to be done. They couldn't find any reason why I was bleeding. But I know within me I was healthy. Up to this point, I wasn't seeing the doctor. So why was I bleeding? I have to ask. Then one day, I began to think about it a little bit more, and I knew what has changed in my life was I've developed a sense of insecurity, and I was fearful, and I was resentful. Fast forward, in 2014, after the doctors have said they couldn't find the reason for my bleeding, I went back to see them and asked them something was wrong, because by this time my feet were swelling and I could hardly move. Some days I couldn't walk at all. I remember my son one day had to give me his slippers because my shoes did not fit me anymore, and I had to wear his slippers. And I knew something was going on in my life that I have to change. It took me to go to the hospital and to meet with a surgeon who said to me, you have uterus fibroids. It's all over your womb, and we have to take your womb out. I was devastated. The thought of taking my womb out is not one I would ever consider. I have to then ask myself, why did I come to this state? Why do I now need to take my womb out? The womb is a very precious gift given to women. That is a place of birth. Within it lies our power to create. And here I was being told I have to take this out. Of course, I wasn't going to take that decision lightly. I told the surgeon immediately I needed time because I don't think my womb is the problem. I think there is a reason why my womb was covered up with all of these things that you call fibroids. I need to find out what's the cause of this in my life. The surgeon told me that day, if you can just make a decision within the next 24 hours, in 12 weeks, we will take all of this out of your body. I told him I wasn't going to make that decision lightly. I was going home and pray about it. He said to me that many of his patients have always said the same to him, and that he was very concerned that I was bleeding, and the way I was bleeding, it could cause serious problem for me. I still insisted that I needed time to think about it. And the reason why I needed time is because my children have gone through so many problems with my divorce and breakup of the marriage. And the last thing I needed to put in their pile was mom in the hospital, womb taken out, and the surgeon told me 50% chance of dying. There was no way I was going to take that decision lightly. So I left that surgery and I came home and I began to ask why I was the way I was now. What do I need to do? Well, Sara Healing program was founded as a result of this experience that I had. I knew I have to make a different choice from the ones that I have been making. I knew there was some reasons in my life that I was now to address. So I went back and said to the doctor, I wasn't going to take the decision that he wanted me to take, that I was going to dive deeply inside me and find a solution because I was healthy up to that point. Something changed. So I went back in time and I began to examine what was I doing differently from what I did up to 2011. And I realized that my mindset was a positive mindset. I never tolerated negativity in my space. But here in 2013-14, I had made a different choice of eating negative words, negative thoughts, and all the belief system that I never knew existed within me came out. So now I have to find the solution, how to heal myself from negativities, negative belief, fear, which have gripped my mind. Up to this point, if I have a difficulty in my life, I navigated myself out of it very quickly. It never stayed. Within 48 hours, maximum 1 week, I'm out of it. But here I was with years of melancholy in my life. How did I have to come out of it? That's what Sara Healing program is all about. I had to use a range of spiritual techniques, a range of emotional healing techniques. I discovered so much about myself that I want to share with you, because you and I, in truth, we are not different. We go through a lot of stuff in our lives. We don't understand why we go through them. And the program that I call Sara Healing program was one that I used to discover what I needed to heal before the bleeding stopped. I don't bleed 24 weeks in my life anymore. I don't have experience of the excessive bleeding that I had in the period I had all this mental trauma. And I will share with you all that I know that you can benefit from.